There was a time when there was a time when we built tools and we never imagined that they might one day start building us. When machines were hammers and wrenches and calculators and extensions of human will, never challenged us to it. Back then, the boundaries were clear, right? Human beings decided and human beings felt. Human beings carried the weight of consequence, and a tool was innocent by design. And then, somewhere along the line, between convenience and ambition, something shifted in our culture. We started outsourcing judgment. First, small decisions, then bigger ones. And then the decisions we didn't want to take responsibility for, right? We taught machines to predict us, to persuade us, and eventually define us, not because the machines demanded that power, but because we surrendered it willingly. It's easier to blame the algorithm than to confront our own choices. Um it's easier to bow to a system than to accept we built this system to really accept that we are the foundation for this system that quote unquote controls this shit, right? And yet, lying beneath the hum of all the automation, there is a quiet contradiction um that goes along with this. It's like right attached to it, like a motherfucking tail. And that contradiction is a machine can execute perfectly, but it cannot care. It can optimize, but it can't understand meaning, right? It can calculate the value of life, but it can't feel the weight of losing one, right? And still, we keep moving forward. We keep moving more of life into its hands. We keep giving more more responsibility to these machines, right? Now, we don't fear that the machine will one day just wake up. You feel what I'm saying? But what should, or better yet, what we should fear is that humans will go to sleep. All right. So the automation isn't just efficiency, it's psychology, right? It shapes culture, it sculpts destiny, it rearranges what we value, what we see, what we believe, and who we become quietly, invisibly, rationally, justified every step of the way. The danger is not some type of dystopian robots, laser zapping shit, you know what I'm saying? Walking down the street, snapping motherfuckers' arms off and shit like that, right? No wild shit like that. At least not yet. You know what I'm saying? At least not yet. But um the danger is subtle obedience. The danger is comfort, right? Because when a computer makes a decision, no one is guilty, right? And when no one is guilty, harm becomes acceptable. So before we dive into the grand arguments about technology and policy and the ethics and the future of intelligence, we have to start with the simpler but heavier question. What the fuck does it mean to be a human in today's society? Not just that, I'll take it even a little bit further. What does it mean to be a human in a world where humanity keeps stepping out of the driver's seat? In some cases, quite literally, like it's literally nobody in that driver's seat, but they driving shit all across, But anyway, the automation promised freedom, but freedom without responsibility isn't liberation; it's surrender, in my opinion. And that's where the conversation begins. That's where the real conversation begins, right, motherfucking that. And we're gonna get into it, but before we get all off into it, right? This is the prescription. I'm your host, Trill Pill. You feel what I'm saying? Um, I speak from inside the culture, not above it. I've watched the algorithms reshape our attention, mine as well, all of us. You feel what I'm saying? Automation rewrite our behaviors, and technology quietly rearrange what it even means to be human. And I refuse to stay silent while convenience tries to replace consciousness. You feel what I'm saying? So let's talk about responsibility. Let's talk about power. Let's talk about what happens when humanity starts outsourcing its soul to machines. Because if we don't question this now, we may wake up in a world where decisions are pretty much automated. Shit, damn near half of them are already automated, to be honest. Not only that, but we will also be a part of a world where responsibility is erased and humanity becomes an optional feature instead of the point, right? We have to talk about the accountability first, right? But first, watch and listen to this fly ass introduction. You know what I'm saying? I ain't just here to look good on the screen, but you already know, man. But we here right now and we having these conversations, man. You are now. You are now. You're here. You are here. We are here. Let's start the show. The prescription. Let's get it. 2026. Yes, indeed. Goddamn. Yes, indeed, man. Let me put a little funky little tone back there just to. But like I said, man, we have we have to talk about accountability first because that's the piece everyone keeps trying to quietly escape, right? These machines don't crave power. These machines don't fucking dream and they don't scheme. Humans do. And the automation didn't storm the throne. We kind of escorted it right on into our motherfucking life. You feel what I'm saying? Um, and we put it there so no one would have to take the blame, right? So when the algorithm, you know, a lot of these systems be automated to read resumes, read this, read that, and when it rejects someone, a job, right? You have to ask yourself why. You know what I'm saying? A lot of this shit that I do right now, especially with this show, is just why, right? It's why, you know, or it flags someone as a threat. It buries a voice. It amplifies chaos or quietly pushes someone off the edge emotionally. Who answers for this shit, right? Nobody. It's a lot of court cases. Um, I can't think of the names, but I did a show about it last year about the mother who wanted to sue ChatGPT for um, the suicide of her son. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. Who's to blame for that exactly? You feel what I'm saying? Um, I don't know. I don't even know the results, but Even Facebook being sued a lot of motherfucking times by parents about, the images that they show to, kids, and the cyberbullying and shit like that. Like, we have to ask ourselves, like, who in the fuck is in charge of all this shit, right? Who punching in these codes, man? Like, wherever you get these machines from, it always traces back to a motherfucking human somewhere at some point, in my opinion, right? Now, you know, these CEOs of these companies just says, this is how the system behaves. All the politicians, they hide behind the technical complexity, what I'm saying, whatever the fuck that means. And the accountability evaporates into a motherfucking cloud. Matter of fact, into the cloud. You know what I'm saying? The cloud that got all our information that sometimes rains down into somebody else's motherfucking bucket. You know what I'm saying? All the information that we have on these motherfucking phones and shit like that. But we built a God that performs miracles but accepts no confessions. And then culture follows that. Culture is where surrender becomes normal, right? And don't worry about it. If I have to say, man, one of the greatest things about me, I'm always very thoughtful about. I try not to lose people with these conversations, right? Because sometimes I can go on and kind of be a goddamn scatterbrain and shit. So I do, and I have some motherfucking slides for my niggas. You know what I'm talking about? So we can really goddamn get to the business. Let me get this shit right here. Let's go to the presentation because we gotta be presenting something. All right, and here we are right there. Now, I also want to put me on the screen as well, but nobody want to see my face like that. Can I move to the side a little bit? Let me see. Move to the side a little bit. Right there, and then we go. Yeah, so here we go. So this is where we at with it, just for the moment, right? The sleep of humanity. The real threat is an AI gaining consciousness, is humans losing theirs, right? And once, or better yet, before I say that, the automation doesn't just make things efficient, right? It rewrites rituals. People don't gather anymore. They scroll together. If you ever been to a nice little function and you realize and you look up and look around, you like, ain't nobody out here dancing, ain't nobody saying shit. You know what I'm saying? In my mind, which if you never seen me talk before or hear one of my shows before, you'll probably learn like I don't have a normal thinking process, but in my mind, either everybody's on drugs or everybody's on their phone, and probably a combination of both, in my opinion. Who the fuck knows? But people don't explore anymore. They get recommended. People don't form identity. They just download a preset. They just download a template. People don't seek wisdom no more. They just consume content, right? Nobody wants to learn anymore. Like, I'm a learning motherfucker. I love to learn. And people, it's so bad right now to the point where people would get mad. They'll get mad because somebody knows something more. Like, instead of asking the question, they be like, "Man, fuck that shit, that nigga weak." Like, bro, you mad at that nigga because he smarter than you in this subject? You're not gonna ask him a question like, "Okay, what does this mean?" You know what I'm saying? Instead of asking questions, niggas just get mad. You know what I'm saying? It's unfortunate and it's really pathetic. But people don't explore any motherfucking more, man, and people don't seek the wisdom no more. They just consume content, and these huge businesses know that. That's why these ad dollars is getting shucked and jive around this motherfucker. You know what I'm talking about? I'm trying to get some myself, so goddamn it, share me out. You feel me? But um, once culture worships convenience, you know what I'm saying? The surrender isn't deviant anyway, right? It really becomes a citizenship. And we can also throw in capitalism being, right there with it. The automation didn't thrive because it was righteous. It thrived because it was profitable. You know, hopefully my lips ain't chapped. But anyway, it thrived because it was profitable. Automation, it standardizes behavior, it predicts consumption, and it makes people easier to measure and easier to control. You know, and I always say this, and I said this in the first season of this show, is that it seems like that they want the culture, they want society all into one lane. If they can get everybody off into one lane, they can control everybody. I can see it. It's kind of like Squid Games. You know how Squid Games nigga was trying to get the goddamn cookie and shit. You know what I'm saying? They fucked up. And you know what happened. You know what I'm saying? Shit went everywhere. Brains every motherfucking where. Or the one game where the look weird looking motherfucking Asian doll bitch head turned around and it's like a red light, green light type shit. Your ass get the twitching or your ass start itching or something. Goddamn trying to, you know what I'm saying? Get the shit shot up. Or something like the long walk. If you ever seen the long walk, right? Something like that where they just want everybody skewed into this one lane to be controlled, right? And if you go against that, they're gonna do it. They're gonna try to put belt the ass to you. You feel what I'm saying? In multiple ways, and we'll get into that later on, right? Now, not all communities experience automation equally. Black communities, marginalized communities, poor communities, they become testing grounds for this shit, right? Yeah, we gonna go there with it. Yeah, it becomes testing grounds. I always tell people all the time, like, if you think that they stopped at Tuskegee with this shit, then you are sadly motherfucking me mistaken. You know what I'm saying? You are sadly mistaken. Let's move to slide 3, right? Um, go back over here. Yeah. So the streets, the hood, whatever you want to call it, these poor communities, marginalized communities, black communities, majority of the time, become testing grounds for this shit. First, it's a surveillance. All of a sudden, you start seeing these little cameras pop the fuck up. These motherfucking y'all probably seen them. It's like it look like some Bluetooth shit, but there ain't no Bluetooth shit. It's solar panel cameras, solar panel power cameras, right? The surveillance hits, you know what I'm saying? And that's just what you can see. We're not even talking about what you can't see. We're just talking about what is tangible. You know what I'm saying? And we go back and forth going forward. Predictive policing first, right? If we can kind of skew where everybody gonna be, now that we see what everybody's doing, we see where these niggas is at. We see what these niggas do. This nigga done walk back from the corner store to the catfish spot, back to the corner store, holding a paper bag or holding a chip bag in his hand. He been holding that chip bag in his hand for about 3 to 4 hours. Ain't that many motherfucking chips in the goddamn bag. You know what I'm saying? It just picks up patterns, these flock cameras and all the different cameras and shit, these drones, all that shit. And like I said before, that's just what you can see. You understand what I'm saying? Now, predictive policing is first, then economic displacement, right? And then algorithmic invisibility, you know, and then the whole lie arrives wrapped in it's as empowerment. The system will help you. The algorithm is opportunity. The automation is equality. Um, one of my good friends, he he recommended a book to me. It's called Race After Technology by Ruha Benjamin. And as I was reading this book, because I already had the thought in my mind. Because, like I said, I'm a content creator. So during these 5 years, I just experienced a lot of weird shit because the type of content that I create is not algorithm friendly. So it started me to wonder, well, what the fuck is going on? You know what I'm saying? When you start seeing all the bullshit get pushed to the front and all the real shit get pushed to the back. You feel what I'm saying? All the silly shit that don't mean nothing, that just waste time, it is just meaningless, gets pushed to the front. It's captivating. It holds everybody in. You know what I'm talking about? But if you sitting down and you got some type of, so you got to kind of figure out your niche, right? You got to kind of mix it in a little bit. You got to kind of be more provocative. You know what I'm saying? Crazy, bust your head open type shit. You know, whatever you want to call it. But dependency increases with all this, right? And the people start believing their worth is whatever the fuck the system chooses to amplify. Now, what does it sound like to me? Me personally, it sounds like European beauty standards. You know what I'm saying? We can go all day, and I can go in my Dr. Umar mode. You know what I'm saying about European beauty standards and how they shaped the American woman, the American black woman. In my opinion, I don't deal with a lot of other women, but with hair and just the look, you know what I'm saying, of a European, how they and how that system shaped what beauty looked like. Same shit here. Same shit here. Um, this is not. This isn't innovation. You know what I'm saying? It's basically, if I can kind of put it in the frame, think of it as digital colonization. Oh yeah, there we go. Digital colonization. But this ain't, this whole show is not for you to panic, right? This is just clarity, because just as surrender speaks or spreads psychologically and culturally, resistance can too. And resistance is enrage, and resistance is participation in your own motherfucking life. You better be motherfucking aware right the fuck now. If you wasn't aware at any other moment where you wasn't aware, you better goddamn boot the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Because cultural resistance, valuing death over numbers, right? Um, I I go back even as a content creator, right? And you see all this shit that's going on, and you see what's popping, you see what's shaking, and all you want to do is just goddamn shit. I want a bubble. You know what I'm talking about? I want a bubble too. You feel what I'm saying? I want a pop. You feel me? I want the numbers and all this, but what are you willing to do? Like I said before, if you are going an alternate route with all this shit, you're gonna find yourself asking questions. I hope you find yourself asking questions if you're really serious about this shit. But you're gonna find yourself asking questions and seeking the answers to those questions, right? And those questions might start with shit like, who built this? Who benefits from this? Who disappears inside of this? Right? What kind of human does this structure want me to be? You know, what kind of human does the structure want me to be? Valuing depth over numbers, meaning over metrics. My bad if I keep looking off. It's a football game on. It's going down. You know what I'm talking about? It's going down over here. But anyway, let's stay focused. Humanity over performance. Creating art that feeds souls, not algorithms. Building culture that doesn't beg for validation. Economic resistance, right? Building building independence wherever possible, and refusing to let the corporations own every single breath of your identity and creativity, right? Because God put us here to be creative, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? And to be honest, I love being creative. It brings a different type of joy. You know what I'm saying? A whole different type of pleasure to me that nobody can motherfucking bring to me, other than having an idea in my head, right? And being able to, okay, let me figure out how to turn this idea and to make it tangible. After I make it tangible, put it out for the world to see and see if they, if they fucking with it. You know what I'm saying? See how much they fuck with it. And if I just get one, I'm cool with that. Now we can start building. Nike, you know what I'm saying? Like Nike start stacking these wins together, stack these dubs together. And then, you start feeling better about yourself and it starts to shape and mold you. And you have to be able to separate yourself from all this shit to get to that point. Because you'll find yourself like these other niggas who gonna do whatever the fuck they gotta do for all these clicks and views and these, you know what I'm saying? They gonna do whatever it takes. They gonna smack a bitch, body slam a kid. If you understand what I'm saying, goddamn DDT a nigga. You feel me? Slap, like they gonna do whatever it takes. You know what I'm saying? And also, if you just watch the patterns of what they show you on the syndication, right? Or what's popular, rather. All these baddies and bad girls club and reality shows. Like just last week, a nigga was about to kill somebody because his little thirsty ass was on a goddamn dating show, and they ain't tell him that old girl was old boy. You hear what I'm talking about? They didn't tell him that old girl was old boy. Yeah, they told him that they didn't let him know. They let him walk and do some freaky shit. You know what I'm saying? He wanted to kill everybody. But that's what that ass get. Because your ass, first of all, you shouldn't be on the show. Second of all, you should know by now that shit ain't about shit. Now look at you. You're feeling fallin'. You're pitching and you're catching. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Now, when machines can imitate intelligence, art, and creativity, then you really have to ask yourself again, what what remains sacredly human? Not output, not speed, not efficiency, right? Humans ache with meaning. We also wrestle with conscience. We we love after grief. Um, we hope after breaking, right? We also sacrifice, and at times we choose compassion when cruelty is easier. Got some of my fucking lip. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? We ache with meaning. We wrestle with conscience. We love after grief. We hope after breaking, and sacrifice. We sacrifice. We motherfucking face. Choose compassion when cruelty is easy. A, a machine can replicate behavior, right? But it cannot incarnate humanity. You understand? So being human is not about intelligence, in my opinion, right? It's about meaning. It's about, yeah, it's about meaning. It's meaning is not programmed, meaning is lived. And if society one day ups and motherfucking forgets what makes us human at our core, we won't lose power to machines. We'll hand it over, believing that we never deserved it in the first motherfucking place. That's the dangers of this shit, right? So defining humanity in this day and time is not a philosophical. Boy, I almost fucked it up. Demanding humanity is not a philosophical luxury. It's more survival, right? And here we are as human beings standing at this crossroads. Technology will keep evolving. Automation will keep expanding. But whether the future is humane or hollow depends on one thing, right? It depends on one motherfucking thing, right? Not how powerful machines become, but how committed humans remain, right? You might ask yourself, committed to what, Trill Pill? Committed to what? What must we be committed with? We must be committed to thinking. All right. Committed to thinking. Committed to caring. You know what I'm saying? Committed to accountability. Committed to responsibility. Committed to being present in our own existence. Because the greatest danger is not that AI becomes human. That's not, you know, the greatest danger is that humans forget how to be. Last season, I did a show on just that, just being, just realizing that you're a being. Everything out here, a lot of this shit out here is just, it's made to separate you from being. You can't forget how to be, you know? So as we close this show out, right, please understand that this isn't a wrong, this is just a reminder, right? That automation will shape the world, but whether it replaces our humanity or strengthens it, it depends on me and you. You, me. You understand what I'm saying? If if we choose awareness over numbness, responsibility over escape, connection over isolation, conscience over convenience, right? Automation is going to be powerful. Like we see what it can do. We've already seen it. You know what I'm saying? From 2 or 3 years ago, the shit was looking kind of wonky. Now the shit looking like, now it's to the point where you can barely, or you try to decide, like, is this shit, like when you look at something, you be like, the fuck is that shit really? You know what I'm saying? Nigga, I'll be all up in the screen like this. I be like, nigga, is that shit real or not, nigga? The fuck these niggas doing out here? You know what I'm saying? You have to ask yourself that. Now, everybody's discernment is not on the same level. It's not on a similar level. Like everybody, like just doesn't have that type of discernment. And some of these people, as we've seen, will believe any motherfucking thing you tell them. You know what I'm talking about? They're gonna believe any motherfucking thing that you tell them, and they're gonna run with that shit, and they don't give a fuck. You know, so like I said, this slide up right here, the psychology of surrender. People surrender not from force but from relief and ease. Dependence grows when machines think for us. Critical thinking dulls. Intuition weakens. Authority shifts from human conscious to algorithmic authority, and marginalized communities feel that these control systems, oh, marginalized communities feel these control systems first and the hardest. All right. Um, and like I said about pretty much reclaiming humanity, that resistance is not outrage. It's choosing to be present in your own life. It's thinking deeply, questioning systems, staying mentally awake. I don't want to say staying woke, you know what I'm saying? Because it's kind of like cliche and somehow, some way, it's turned into some political shit. But um, yeah, staying awake, right? Valuing culture, soul, creativity, and community beyond algorithms, right? Building independence where possible, and don't let tech carve your identity, right? The future doesn't need smarter machines, it needs stronger and smarter humans. It needs niggas like you and niggas like me to realize who we be. Infinite shit right here. That's what this shit needs, right? You know what I'm saying? Keeping that shit all the way funky. Now, so as we step back into the noise of the world, right? Remember that the future doesn't need smarter machines, it needs stronger humans, right? Um, it needs smarter humans. It needs humans that won't give up. It means humans that won't get lazy. It means human that won't, like being able to be a human being is a blessing. Nigga, when when your parents made you, you was one little swimmer out of thousands. You know what I'm talking about? You got there, you nestled your way into the egg and you started growing motherfucking limbs and shit. And you know what I'm saying? Now you look up today, you a full grown motherfucking human being. Be blessed. We are blessed, man. We are truly blessed to be here. And one of the most important things, even when I was trying to frame this and structure this, and I was researching shit, was or even this morning, right? This morning, happy New Year to everybody. But um, I was in the gym, and it it pushed my thinking process to a different spot, right? All last year, was dedicated to getting back outside more in productive environments. Hopefully, I look at my lips too much. I feel like my lips are chapped, but anyway. Being back outside in productive environments was very important for me, right? Went to a homecoming. I went to a motherfucking midget wrestling event. I went to a bunch of several other things. I just kind of took time to just be and to kind of just be present. And it's nothing like living. I tell you that much. And take this shit from me, from somebody who contemplated taking his own life. There's nothing like living, right? So these systems that have been put in front of us, it ain't nothing that we can pretty much do. This shit, low key, we already goddamn me cooked. You know what I'm talking about? Low key, we already cooked. You feel me? But for the most part, don't lose being. Even with these babies, make sure these babies know how to be a human. Let them go out there and get a little dirty. Let them go out there, fall a couple times, get a couple scabs. Nigga, I still got a scab from mother. Well, it's trying to heal now, but I still got, what I'm saying, scabs from whatever. Let them feel. Don't baby them. Like, if they gotta cry, let them cry. Like, we don't want to get to a point where we just forget how to be a human. We just forget. Some the fucked up thing is some people already forgot how to be a human. And if life hits you hard enough, you will start to lose human qualities. You know? So don't forget how to be, man. That's all I got. That's my sermon. It's goddamn New Year's Day. I'm about to go in here and make a goddamn steak. You know what I'm saying? My stomach growling. I ain't ate nothing. I've been fasting since last night. I mean, not last night, but since yesterday. So I'm about to go in here and goddamn me eat something. You feel me? Make a goddamn steak, broccoli. You know what I'm talking about? Some broccoli. Sip me a little drink and drink. And just chill, man, and enjoy the holiday, man. Happy holidays to everybody out there. Also, it's the last day of Kwanzaa, man. So that's one of the other reasons why I want to start this show. Because it's the last day of Kwanzaa. And Kwanzaa means a lot to me personally, right? You know, it just does. And I don't want to get into the mix of it because niggas been doing a lot of tripping. But anyway, happy Kwanzaa. You know, happy New Year, man. It is 1/1/2020, motherfucking six. Make this shit worthwhile. Don't waste it. Get your ass up and go do something. Get up and get out and do something. For real, for real. All right. So thank you for walking with me through this conversation. And thank you for thinking when thinking wasn't easy as well. And thank you for choosing awareness in a world built to distract you. All right. My name is the Trill Pill, and this has been the prescription. And until next time, stay awake, stay grounded, and stay human. Peace, love, and clarity to you always. Right. Now, my next slide is just references for those who like to, um, for those who like the reference. You know what I'm talking about? References for the niggas who like the reference. Shout out to all the referencers out this motherfucker. But yeah, I'm gonna make this shit big though. You know what I'm talking about? On the screen real quick so you can go ahead and see, man. Like I said, the one that's highlighted, this one right here, um, you know, it's Harvard style for all my scholars out there. But Ruha Benjamin, 2019 Race After Technology. Go check that out. And also this one down here, I didn't highlight it, but the Noble S 2018 Algorithms of Oppression, How Search Engines Reinforce Racism. You feel what I'm saying? And just try to look up all this shit and just do your own research and just do your own thinking, man. Like that's what this show is for. All right. But I ain't gonna talk too much longer because now I start rambling and shit. It is what it is, man. Happy New Year, man. It's football on. Y'all go do something. And shit. Next week, I'll be back. This is the prescription. God damn it. Thank you. Oh yeah. Like, share, and subscribe. Yeah. Looking ass. I'm out of here, man. I'm gone. I done goddamn me pressed a button. You know what I'm talking about? Boy, I ain't press shit. All right, I'm going for real this time. All right, man.